Hi, my name is Sean Walker, and I'm a Principal Product Success Architect and part of the Ranger team here at ServiceNow. I'm going to be joined today also by Anne-Marie Duffy, who's also a Principal Product Success Architect, specializing more in the Service Graph Connector area. So today I'm going to be talking to you about software usage. So here's what I'm going to be covering in today's video. I'm going to talk about what is software usage, why is software usage important, where does software usage data come from, and then I'm just going to hop into an instance and just give a quick overview demo of software usage. So what is software usage? Software usage is data that's used to provide information about who's using a software product, when the software product was last used, how many times the software product has been accessed, or the total time the software product has been used. So this data can be found in the SAMP SW usage table. So why is software usage important? So unused or underused software can be quite costly for most organizations. The license harvesting process allows those organizations to reuse and redeploy software that's already been procured. Reclamation rules and removal candidates are the features used in ServiceNow to harvest those software licenses. Software usage data is used by the reconciliation rules to determine if a removal candidate should be created. So where does software usage data come from? And that data can come from many different sources and be brought into ServiceNow. One of the typical ways we see is through Service Graph connectors. Now, it's really important to note that not all Service Graph connectors capture usage data. And just because the discovery tool has the ability to capture usage data, it doesn't actually mean that it is capturing usage data. So a good example of this would be the SCCM Service Graph connector. While the Service Graph connector does automatically look for software's usage data, unless SCCM has the feature called SCCM metering enabled, and they're metering for those specific applications, there will be no software usage data. So that's a really important thing to note, is that, yeah, sure, SCCM can capture usage data, but has the SCCM environment being configured to actually do that? So that's really important for all Service Graph connectors. Another way data can come in is through SaaS integrations. And once again, not all SaaS integrations capture usage information. A lot of them do, but not all of them do. So a good example would be Adobe. Adobe does not give usage information. Even if you were to go out to the Adobe portal, you're not going to be able to see the last time a subscription is used, even on the Adobe portal. So it's definitely not imported through the SaaS integration. A really good tool that people should start leveraging or think about leveraging is ServiceNow's Agent Client Collector. So that is the agent that could replace the Service Graph connectors and the need for SCCM, Jamf, Intune, those kind of things. And they could use the Agent Client Collector, which does automatically capture software usage data with no configuration required. And then, of course, you can also manually import software usage data. So say, for example, you have a different source in your environment that does capture this usage data, but there's no integration in ServiceNow. You could export the usage information from that system and then do a bulk import of that software usage information into ServiceNow. Okay, so now I'm going to go and show you a quick demo in a Washington, D.C. release of ServiceNow. Okay, so now I'm logged into a Washington instance of ServiceNow with software asset management installed. And I'm just going to show you how to review the software usage data. So I'm on the software asset workspace, and I'm going to go down into the license operations dashboard. And on the license operation dashboards here under discovery, you will see software usage. So this is a view of that SAMP SW usage table. And this has a bunch of information that's already been imported into my instance from those various sources we talked about. And so we can go through and we can review some of the information, so this is for Mike, it's for Microsoft Publisher, and the reclamation type is set to last used time. So there's some other good valuable fields on this table that you might want to think about viewing. You can actually see, sometimes see your discovery source. You can see your last used time. You can see your total used minutes, seconds if you want. You can also see some usage counts. The user principal name, that's something very, very handy to have, because just like with the SaaS subscriptions, your user principal name in your SaaS provider's portal is really what's going to be used to match against your user within ServiceNow. So those are just some of the things I usually add to my view here, and we can add them and take a look, right? So now I can see, here's the last use time. Again, this is older data in my demo environment. And again, there's that UPN, right? So it's actually, this is what's used to match the user principal name will match against the username within ServiceNow. So there's a couple of ways we can manually create data within this table. It's very simple. You can click on new and actually create a software usage record manually if you would like. So let's just go and put one in here for Microsoft as the publisher. And let's pick something like project. And so here's Microsoft project. And so which CI is this going to be? I think we have some, this is a CI name here. Just this is the CI for the asset manager. What's the reclamation type for this particular one? Total use time. So when is this data for? Let's pick May or April, which was last month. They used it 25 times. Year's 2024. And total use seconds, I have no idea. We'll just put 96,000. There we go. And we can save this record. And so this is how you would manually create software usage data in the system. So now we can just take a look here for that user, which was asset manager. Ooh, there's a lot of asset manager. Here it is here, this one here, asset manager, Microsoft project, configuration, asset item, total use time. And again, I'd have to probably take a look and sort this since there's a lot of other data in there to find the particular record I just actually put in there. So another way asset managers can get usage data in, if it's not coming in automatically through one of the integrations for SaaS or through SCCM or one of your service graph connectors. So say they have a different system out there that has usage information but no integration. You can actually manually or bulk import software usage data into this table as well. So I do have a transform map. This is something you'll have to create your own transform map for. So I do have a transform map that I created for this, just to bring in records in bulk. And we can take a quick look at this. I'm not going to go into details on this video on how to create a transform map. This is something that's going to need to be done by an administrator, because only administrators can do bulk import. So you can see it's fairly simple. I've got all of my fields from my template, from my spreadsheet that I'm going to bring in. I'm targeting these fields and I'm coalescing on several of the fields automatically to make sure I'm not duplicating. So I'm going to be coalescing on my publisher, product, user, UPN to make sure that I'm not doubling up or adding records that are already there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and run this transform with some demo data and then come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so now I've gone in and I've done my bulk import of my demo data and I want to take a look at it. So I'm going to go back in again to my software usage table. I'm going to take a look at the created by, and I know I created these records, so I can just quickly filter by my name here. So created by myself, and we can see here what I've got. So I can see all these records that I created via this discovery source, which is my demo usage data. And I can see all of the different information for that. So my usage counts, my products, my publishers, my user, my UPN, everything that I managed to bring in through that bulk update process. And again, here is the one that I created manually. So next I'm going to be taking you through how SCCM usage data gets into play. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get with my colleague Anne-Marie, and we're going to talk about SCCM usage data in more detail. Okay, so now I'm back and I'm being joined by my teammate Anne-Marie. Welcome, Anne-Marie.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Happy to be here.
Nice to have you. All right, so now we're going to be going ahead and we're going to be bringing in some usage data from SCCM. So we have an SCCM environment connected to this instance, and we actually are metering some software products. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually bring back some of that usage data and show you how SCCM data gets brought in. The first thing we're going to need to do is set up some reclamation rules for that software. So what software are we metering in that environment, Anne-Marie?
We're doing Chrome.
Chrome. Okay. So yes. Yeah. So we have metering enabled for Google Chrome. And I'm not going to talk you guys through the setup of a reclamation rule because I've already done a video on this. So if you haven't watched that, please make sure you watch the other video on how to create a reclamation rule. And so we're just going to leave it very basic. It's total use time. We're going to say 1 hour. Save that. There we go. And we are going to add the product now. So we're going to add the product we're wanting to bring metering data in for. And so make sure we get the right one. Google Chrome. Nope, not that one. We want this one. And we're going to hit save. And then if we take a look here, right, this is an important piece, is that we've selected the product Chrome, and ServiceNow knows that Chrome is tied to the executable chrome.exe. And that's really important because SCCM doesn't, when you set it up for metering, you don't meter based off of a product. It's looking for a very specific executable. So if you pick the wrong one in your software product list here, it could very well have the wrong executable that SCCM is tracking the usage data for. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, or what actually I should say, what do we do next, Anne-Marie? How does SCCM bring that data in?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. So for in SCCM, there's a software usage scheduled import job that you run. So if you go down to, actually, if you want to show first the data source that's associated with the software usage job, you can show like out of the box what the data source is, or from the last time you used it. And we can see here that Chrome is not in here in this SQL query. What happens is that the software usage job, it looks up the reclamation rules table to see what reclamation rules you have to find. And then based on that, it'll dynamically update the SQL query to include, it'll be including our new Chrome product in this query. Okay. So we can see here that Chrome is not existing here at the moment. So once we start the job running, it'll query the table, see that Chrome has been added, and then dynamically update this query to include Chrome. And then it goes out to Microsoft Configuration Manager or SCCM to pull back the software metering data for Chrome and
okay, so, great. So yeah, then let's leave this open and we'll see what happens. And we'll see that actually change when we run the import job. So I just opened up the, I thought I opened it up in a different tab. 1 second here, let me get that back. All right, so now I fixed up my windows. Sorry about that. So now we're going to find the usage job here. If I could type. And we can take a look at that. So this is the job we want to run, right, Anne-Marie?
That's right, Sean. Yeah, and just to call out for the demo purposes, this job runs monthly on the second day of the month, and for the purpose of this demo, we changed it to 30 to be today, the 30th of May. But that's out of the box have to be equal to 2 as opposed to 30. Just to call that out. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so now we're going to hit execute now and run this jobs again. You wouldn't normally do this execute now. This is just so we can actually show you what happens. So if I come back over to the data source job, we should see here that, yeah, the SQL statement has in fact been updated when that import schedule job ran. And let's take a look and see if we can find Chrome. Oh, and there it is right there. So
perfect.
Chrome has been dynamically added to this SQL query because we added a reclamation rule for Chrome. So now, with any luck, there'll be usage data in our SCCM system that we pulled back into SAM usage table. So we're going to go over to the workspace again, come down to license operations, come down and find our software usage, and we're going to take a look for Chrome. So let's take a look for Chrome. Maybe we should put contains Chrome just in case, because we don't know. And there we go. We now have usage information in our system coming in from SCCM. And just to show you guys that it is in fact data coming in from today, we can just put our updated date on here so you guys can see when these records were updated. And there they are. So the created, you can see they're created by me today. Today is the 30th of May. And we now have usage information coming in. So now this can be used by the, can now compare against the reclamation rules, and it can create removal candidates. So that's pretty much how software usage data comes into SCCM. So thank you very much, Anne-Marie, for that quick overview of how those SCCM jobs work.
Yeah, you're welcome, Sean.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how did all of this data get in here from all of these SaaS subscriptions. So if we take a look at my instance here, I've got quite a few SaaS integrations that are configured. Again, this is my demo instance. So we do have a lot of different SaaS integrations configured. And again, some of those have usage information, some of them do not. So in order to get SaaS usage information, again, you're going to need to create that direct integration or custom integration to be able to pull that information back into the software usage table. So again, each one of these, you'll want to take a look at the product documentation website and take a look at what they actually can do and whether they will be getting some usage information or not. So we can take a look. If we come back into software usage, right, we know that all of this publisher information, not all of it, but for Microsoft is likely coming from the integration with the 365 portal. Not all of it. Obviously, there's going to be some coming in from SCCM if we had it configured, those kind of things. But basically we can see here all of this different usage information is all coming from the 365 integration. So again, not every SaaS integration is created equal. So not all of those integrations will be bringing information back in. So you can see that really, based off of all of those integration profiles I have, I really only have 4 of them that are actually bringing in usage information. Again, this is demo data, so I don't necessarily have all of that in there, and some of this could have been created manually. I know this TechSmith was one of the ones we did in part of the bulk update demo, and same with the Autodesk. So really, only the Adobe and Microsoft usage data is coming into my demo environment right now. So that's just one way to review through is, again, SaaS-based integration usage data is dependent on the publisher and whether they actually have that as part of their API. So in today's video, we reviewed what software usage is, why software usage is important, how software usage data gets imported. I demonstrated how to manually create software usage records, and we reviewed the SCCM usage import process. For more information on software usage, you can go to the ServiceNow product documentation site. A couple of good articles is view or create software usage in Workspace, and there's also a good section on Agent Client Collector. Hope you found this video helpful. Talk to you soon.